I've been stripping 3 to 5 nights a week in Portland area. I've only worked in Portland and suburban cities, so Tigard, Beaverton, Clackamas, um, in Oregon. So I've only danced in Oregon. I love talking to travel dancers and people I'm working with and friends about what they experience in other states, but I can't speak except for Oregon. And Oregon is a little unique because, unlike a lot of other places in the United States, we have alcohol and full nudity, gambling, mostly in the form of video lottery machines, sometimes in the form of Texas Hold'em or card table games. Yeah, there's not many, but a couple of the clubs that I've worked in for long times have hosted those, and that can be a hoot. That's a whole, gamblers are so their own other animal. It's so yeah. And the overlaps between gamblers and bartenders and comedians and strippers, I'm like, ugh, greasy. Some of you greasy. This is why I don't read or write fiction because I don't need to, because I'm around interesting, weird strangers all the time. So anyway, so Oregon has all these things which can contribute to really specifically diverse environments. And when I say that, I mean that they are lacking in diversity in other ways. Oregon's a very white state. There's a history of why. So Black dancers and dancers of color will tell you what they deal with when they work here in terms of racism. I am white. I do not deal with those things. So again, that's a limitation to my perspective. In Oregon clubs, many of them, though, a lot of the dancers, and it's been like this since I started, and I hear the history, a lot of us are more likely to be tattooed, pierced, hair short, hairy dancers. Like full bush in Portland was a thing. It's always been a thing. It's not been a very common thing, but there's usually like one hairy stripper per shift, if they know what's good for them, give the people what they want. So yeah, Bush is coming back on social media, or they're like, Bush is here, and I'm like, for some of us, it never left. Um, I'm not a full bush person, but to give your audience a visualization, if some of you still haven't seen me naked and you live in this fair city, I've always had a patch of pubic hair, and I very specifically, when I am allowed in the venue, I will do bottoms off first, because this is for multiple reasons. You're about to learn a lot. A lot of dancers, even with, still like some hairy dancers existing, a lot of them would shave mostly bare or a lot of it, because that's been the fashion since the 2000s for a lot of like conventional pornographic media culture. So I immediately want the whole room to know I have pubic hair, because what you don't want to fix, you can feature. And someone all the way in the room, even if your vision is bad, you can't see the definition of my genitals, but you can see the dark patch and it will call to you. It's my siren song. So that's like on purpose. That's how I like my body. And that's a thing that I don't have to change. If I worked in a club where they said you have to shave everything off, that I don't work in any clubs like that. And I don't know if that's a thing still. And I would love to hear from dancers. But there are some environments, some venues where the owner is literally like, show me your manicure. You're not tan enough, shave your pussy. Don't hear about it too much, but yeah. So Portland, we're more likely to be like a little more body diverse. There's not that many bigger body dancers. Like there's not enough, because again, people like everything and everybody deserves the right to be sexy and work it. But there's definitely clubs where you can be a bigger body dancer. We're allowed to wear sneakers. A lot of places you can't wear flats at all. So you'll get cowboy boots, ballet slippers. I actually have some pink high top Converse Chucks that I packed for my shift today that I'm doing in a few hours after, because I know that a regular is coming in and he hates heels and he loves the sneakers. Yeah, so it really doesn't matter which ones, but he'll be delighted that I brought those with him in mind. And he hasn't come in for months and months. He was having some health issues, so this is like our big reunion. Oregon clubs are pretty interesting. You are more likely to be able to dance to some variety of music. Again, it depends what club you're in. The racism in Oregon that I mentioned earlier, there's still clubs here, because we're not Atlanta. and there's more white people. There's still clubs here that can get away with not playing rap, and their excuse is they don't want to draw the wrong crowd, such as gang members. But really, it's like, do you mean black people? Like, so that's bullshit. And usually that rule will come and go in some venues when the owner is a racist piece of shit. But like the audience hates that rule because rap music and hip hop and R&B is good and fun and rich and a part of our culture. So it ends up getting played again, and then the owner will come in and be like, change it. None of the places where I work, but like I've worked at this point, I want to say 12 or 13 clubs, and four of those don't exist anymore. So I can talk crap on that. I'm not necessarily going to name drop because I don't, there's too many ghosts that can haunt me in this city if I make enemies. People are like, you should write a book about your time here. I'm like, no, I would have to move. I'd have to move. Because also, when you work in hospitality and entertainment, the audiences that you will have come see you is the everyday people who don't work in entertainment themselves, and athletes, celebrities, musicians, comedians, restaurant owners, business owners. I avoid a handful of places in this city because I have met the person who owns them and I do not want to give him money. And that is a shitty way to live, actually. It really, really brings down the date when you're like, oh, I don't want to go here because the owners actually assaulted me. No big deal. So, yeah. And if you're dealing with enough people, like, and I've chosen to be, I didn't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous, but I've been successful in my realm to a degree that feels I'm very grateful for. I have chosen again to work 10 or 12-hour days in a variety of things. And I'm a privileged person who is resourced. I have a car, I have a couple family members that could help me out when I needed. I have a home. It's bad out there right now. The economy is bad. I am so grateful despite some of the really intense, horrific struggles I wouldn't wish on anybody. Um, I have thrived in this industry, but I have also chosen to participate in adult entertainment and sexuality in a way that a lot of people aren't interested and don't want to commit to, and I understand that as well.